Today in the nerdy news you need to know about, a Like a Dragon Yakuza series has been announced. A Google employee might be responsible for massive leaks. And do we have the first star of the Ghost of Tsushima movie? We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the engaged one, at Tim Geddes.
Let Tim host.
I gotta soak them in now.
You do.
You know what I mean?
There's
we
so
are
few.
25 days away from your wedding, Tim. No pressure.
Yeah. Starting to feel, there's highs and lows. Feeling a high right now. Feeling really good. Feeling under control
Yeah?
for what will undeniably be the greatest night of my
I talked to
life.
Gia last night about it. She was
Yeah.
talking about, there's still a lot of stuff you guys
There's
gotta
a lot
do.
of stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
she says it's ups and downs.
Yeah.
You're excited, I'm sure.
Very excited.
Make an honest woman of her. That'll be great.
Oh, yeah,
You
finally.
excited to finally
Somebody
sleep
has
in the
to.
same bed?
It's gonna be nice.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's gotta be cool.
I understand what
Yeah.
she feels like. You know what I mean? Like, just like her shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about anything else.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We're respectable.
You keep that for the 5th anniversary.
Yes.
Anything else? The first 5 years,
Yes.
your wedding night, you finally get to sleep in the same bed and
Jesus.
touch your shoulder.
5
5 years in, you get to touch back of her head. You know what
It's
I
gonna
mean?
be nice.
It will
Looks
be.
soft.
It does look soft. I know. Can we talk about what we did last night? Is that okay or no?
Yeah.
We went and saw Bad Boys last night.
Mm-hmm.
We got Bad Boys in review this week.
We do.
Very excited for it.
Exciting times. Really exciting times.
They're back.
It's out here, man. Martin Lawrence is out here.
Martin Lawrence
Other
is
people
out there.
here too.
God bless him.
Yeah.
But Martin Lawrence is really the one who's doing it. You know what I mean?
And I'm telling you, the directors of this movie,
Yeah.
they got the stuff. They worked on the best episodes of Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
They worked on a Batgirl movie we'll never see. They are likely at this point, we'll believe it when I see it, working on Spider-Man 4. I can watch this movie and I can imagine that happening, and I like it quite a bit.
I would fucking love that. Where are we at with Spider-Man 4?
They're
Shouldn't we have
figuring it out.
announced one by now?
They had to announce Venom: The Last Dance. We had to get trailers for that. They had to figure out what they're doing. By the way, our trailer reaction's live now. You can go watch that.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I like that a
Me
lot.
and Greg
I
breaking
like
it
that a lot.
down, slowly losing our minds. That happens pretty quickly, actually.
Actually, yeah, it's pretty quick on that one, yeah. I would love another Spider-Man movie. But you know what I'd love? Video game news. And we have a lot of it because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on Twitch, YouTube, and podcast services around the globe each and every weekday. If you love what we do, why not support us with the Kinda Funny membership? Of course, with the Kinda Funny membership, $10 gets you good karma and all of our shows ad-free. There's a lot of shows. And the ability to watch us record the afternoon podcast live as we record them, just like yesterday's Venom reaction, just like yesterday's Kinda Funny podcast, in which Tim found a product that changed his life. And of course, you get a brand new audio, visual, multimedia experience known as Gregway each and every weekday, all with your Kinda Funny membership. However, no bucks, no big deal. Like, subscribe, share, follow, use your Amazon Prime with Twitch Prime to support Kinda Funny and keep the dream of an 11-person small business alive in this gobble, 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 corporation eat you up, cancel and fire everybody world. Of course, if you want to be part of this very show as we go with your thoughts, opinions, and commentary, you should be YouTube super chatting. That's where we'll pull all your questions, comments, and concerns. Housekeeping. Today, after the Kinda Funny Gamescast, you will get a Gamescast that is our Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree hands-on preview.
Pretty wild.
Very wild, of course, ladies and gentlemen. I like to tease you and show you what's coming each and every week. We had to put embargoed preview for this one, and it turns out it's Elden Ring. We sent Andy down to LA to play it. Andy is back. Him, Blessing, and Mike are going to sit down and tell you all about what Andy got to do. And then, of course, after that, the stream will be Elden Ring with Nick, Andy, and Mike, because Kinda Funny is all about live talk shows. Of course, you can stay with us each and every day, all day long. If you are a Kinda Funny member, like I said, you can get today's Gregway. It, of course, is me giving, I would say, a pep talk to Dante. Dante got laid off, and he asked me, Greg, what's the biggest career hurdle you've ever overcome? And I go on for quite some time and give him the pep talk that maybe everybody could use. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Kieran Hovasapian, Carl Jacobs, Fargo Brady, and Delaney Twining. Today, we're brought to you by Punkle, developer of Vampire Survivors, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 6 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen!
I will warn you ahead of time, ladies and gentlemen. Stories 1 and 2, very Japanese focused. As we know, I struggle with Japanese names. I'm trying to be better. I've gone through and phonetically spelled them out for myself. I will get in my head and screw it all up. I apologize, all right? Also, while we're there, I have a zit on my face. I don't want to see anything in there. Call me zitty zitty bang bang.
Call him Herpes Miller.
Nice zits. No, don't do the herp. No, if it was herpes, it would be no. It's not a herp. It's not a herp. It's just a zit.
I don't know, man. I heard
not that anything wrong with having herpes, but if I had herpes, trust me, there'd be a podcast already called Greg Miller Has Herpes. You know what I mean? You think I'd let that fucking title sit out there? You think I wouldn't want those 20,000 views?
Is this headline that we're using right now good enough? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Does Greg Miller have herpes?
We'll have to save that for the
SGF ruined?
We'll save that for
SGF herpes outbreak? Jeff Grubb involved? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Who have I been kissing? Number 1 on the Roper Report. Like a Dragon Yakuza live action series announced for Amazon Prime Video this fall.
Insane.
Daniel Robson over at IGN.com has the report. That's my thing. When I saw it, I was like, oh, cool. They're announcing something that's coming at a long way. This fall? This is a real thing that's already ready to go? Holy shit. Amazon has announced an original live-action series for Prime Video based on Sega's successful Like a Dragon game series, previously known as Yakuza. Simply titled Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and including 6 episodes, this original series directed by Masaharu Takei, best known for the drama series The Naked Director. Made in Japan, the series stars the hugely popular Japanese drama and stage actor Ryoma Takeuchi in the role of Kazuma Kiryu. Like a Dragon, Yakuza, will be available on Amazon Prime in over 240 countries and territories worldwide, released in 2 batches, October 25th and November 1st, 2024.
3 and 3.
Like imminently.
Yeah.
Like it's that close.
And then the break between it feels like a nice, just a week.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to, there's a whole bunch to still go through and quotes and all this other stuff and other words for me to trip all over. But where I want to go is like, first off, the imminency, amazing. Then we look at Invincible, a show we love that got done dirty this last time around by Amazon Prime and its schedule. And I get animation's hard. It takes a lot of time, blah, blah, blah. You got to satiate the audience. But I think they left too much time in between them, totally ruined the flow, hard to keep a momentum going for that or get it going. Are you, Tim, a man who loves the week to week, loves the discussion, loves that kind of thing, happy with a 3 batch on October 25th, a 3 batch on November 1st?
Yeah, this definitely seems reasonable. There seems like a design plan to it. I also think that this being a Japan-made product, it's different. It is not a Hollywood product and therefore is designed differently. There's a lot of examples of Japanese-made movies and TV series. What do you got for me? What do we got?
I'm sorry, I glanced to the chat. That was my mistake.
Got it.
And it was someone responding to that last glass soccer. Somebody, Greg Miller got Garfield herpes 1K views. Because you hate Garfield for some reason. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm usually very locked in. Go back to your point.
No, that's fair. That's totally okay.
So it's a Japanese product. It's a different kind of thing.
So like there's been a lot of examples of different adaptations of books, of manga, of games, of everything like that in Japan into movies and TV. And for many, many years, they've had a very distinct style that does not feel like it is chasing Hollywood. It feels like it's trying to do its own thing and therefore kind of has different delivery formats and platforms and things like that. And there's, I think of the Death Note movies that they made that adapted the manga and anime to some extent. And just the style that they had, the Battle Royale movies back in the day. And every once in a while something crosses over and kind of works. I think the most recent example, obviously, Godzilla -1, a major win. But that also, I think, is kind of evidence that the Japanese movie making and TV making style can actually fit a more Hollywood blueprint as well. And they can have a mega win in the Hollywood system. So things like this are very interesting to me because everything I'm hearing here, I wonder how these decisions were made. I wonder what the story behind this is because it just being announced and being so imminent doesn't sound normal to me. So I wonder if this was just one of those more traditional type shows that Amazon came in and were like, oh, we got something here. let's just buy this and be able to release it and globally. And it kind of like feels like, oh, this was a plan the whole time, but it was actually just shows like Japan gets all the time.
Interesting. Well, let's continue on here and, of course, get our Yakuza expert, Roger Picornian, here for some content questions. The live-action crime suspense series is based on an original screenplay loosely inspired by the first game in the series, 2005's Yakuza. It will be set mainly in the Kamurocho Entertainment District, which is basically the red light district, but it's fictional, straight from the games, and follows Kiryu and 3 of his childhood friends in 2 time periods, 1995 and 2005. Similar to the games, protagonist Kiryu is described as the show's press release as a fearsome and peerless Yakuza warrior with a strong sense of justice, duty, and humanity. And the story will deal with the repercussions of his actions in the 2 time periods. Takeuchi commented that the show will include, quote, intense fighting scenes, alluding to the wild action scenes it is famed for. Speaking of the tattoo on his back and sculpting his body for the role, as seen in the key visual image released today. Can we see that too, by the way? Kevin, I don't.
Super impressive.
Yeah, can we see? I think I saw it on Twitter and then didn't realize it was a real thing. So if you could find that for me, Kev, thank you. Takeuchi said, quote, "You can't play Kiryu Kazuma without getting into shape. So I knew I had to throw myself into it. This was a job not only for me, but also for the costume and makeup teams. It took 2.5 hours just to prepare for this shot. God damn."
Holy shit.
He goes back. It's partly Kiryu Kazuma and it's partly me. I got so close to the part that it was really hard to distinguish where he ended and I began. That included getting into shape for the part, the costume, and so on. God damn it, IGN, get this off the screen! That included getting into the shape for the part, the costume, and so on. Rather than acting the part of Kiryu, I feel he became a part of the family. So this isn't, what they're talking about, Kev. If you can scroll up, like there should be that shot. This is what we're looking for. Yeah, that's a real shot.
I thought that was from the
Holy
video game.
fucking shit, dude. God damn, go get him, man. In a press release, Masayoshi Yokoyama, head of RGG Studio and executive producer of the new drama series, said, while the games let you experience the world through their subjective lens, this adaptation will be the ultimately objective way to enjoy the show. I have no doubt that fans of the series will be drawn to how it brings the games to life and adds new surprises. Newcomers, I'm sure, will find themselves invested simply in the gritty realism of the show, end quote. Hello, Roger. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm excellent. As you know, Roger, back in the day,
Yes.
long before anyone gave a flying fuck about Yakuza, I reviewed these on IGN, enjoyed my time with them all the time, and then, I felt like I Yakuza'd out, and then years went by, and then suddenly everyone was obsessed with Yakuza. You've been a fan who's come to it more recently, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
What does this do for you then?
It's exciting. I think I'm having the same hesitations that you're having, Tim, right? Like, this comes out of nowhere. We're having the video game, movie, adaptation, TV show boom, right? And then this thing kind of just comes out, and it's like, okay, well, it's happening, and it's happening this year. And it's 6 episodes. I think a lot of people on the internet are like, oh, 6 episodes. How are we going to actually do this? It's a 20-hour video game. How are we going to... I think it's going to be fun.
Well, we won't be throwing bicycles at people and ordering pizza.
There's not going to be any side quests. I do...
Hey, there's somebody who took there's a peep. I think that actually might have been Judgment. I was going to bring up the panty stealer. You got to go bust this peeping Tom. That was Judgment. Judgment, a great game.
Yeah.
Yakuza, a great game.
I haven't played Judgment. You should play it.
Yeah.
But like, I do kind of wish they had a little bit more time to like explore the side quests of it all, because I think that there is some fun to have there. But I can see this being, as they said in the last sentence, right, a gritty realism, right? Like, they're gonna focus on the seriousness of Yakuza, which makes sense, and I don't think that's a negative, right? I think there is a lot of fun and goofiness with the Yakuza franchise, but especially that first game, like there's a lot of seriousness that you can focus on, and then the later seasons you can kind of expand on. But I don't know. I think I'm just nervous about not the release of it, not the 6 episodes, just the fact that this came out of nowhere and it's already been made, and it seems like they just kind of picked this up, because there have been. Correct me if I'm wrong, there was a Yakuza stage play. I believe there was a Yakuza movie in Japan. I don't know.
There was.
Yeah, so like this happens a lot, and I'm just scared of like the quality of this. Even though this all sounds good, this all sounds exciting, but I'm excited to see. Do you think we get a trailer at Summer Games Fest? Do you think we see something else?
That's my thing. Is I feel like this is kind of outside of the traditional systems. I think that this seemingly is a last minute thing that was more of a deal as opposed to like a production. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do not expect to see it at Summer Game Fest. But I think we'll get something soon. And I imagine this is the type of thing I imagine we're going to just get a lot of trailers and a lot of clips from a bunch of different places that like are just random. Like, I don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal of like, hey, here's the trailer. It's just kind of like things are just going to start being released.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about this. My first thought after hearing this was, one, excited. Then two, man, we have fucked the name Like a Dragon Yakuza to the nth degree, right? It was Like a Dragon in Japan, and like, okay, now we're gonna have the 7th Yakuza game be Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and now we're like, okay, now it's just Like a Dragon, and now the TV show is Like a Dragon Yakuza. It's just, we're just all over the place with the naming structure of this all.
100%, yeah.
I mean, that's the smallest. I think this is exciting for the people that have heard of Yakuza and they want to have that first initial, hey, I don't have to play a 40-hour video game or watch a 2-hour recap of it all.
For me, a lapsed fan, I'm super stoked about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I like the idea of it. I love the idea of just getting that story, seeing what I imagine is going to be a more grounded take on it. Because Yakuza, of course, is very serious and is hyper-realistic. And then you get into the fights and you're glowing with fire and you're punching people really quick and you're slamming signs and everything. Like, I think taking that and running with that and having a Yakuza crime drama that I'm sure will involve karaoke and hostess bars and all these different things, that sounds super fun. I will watch 6 episodes of that for sure. And I think, again, coming off the high that was Fallout, right? Like, especially with Amazon and the high of Invincible and The Boys, like, Amazon's doing really well. So the fact that they did pick this up, that they are doing this, I'm excited for it.
I'm that's the thing, is like I want to be excited for it. I actually have fairly high hopes for this, just in the sense that I think that we're just in a different place than we were 10 years ago with Japanese production. And I'm excited that we're at a place with distribution platforms like the streaming services like Amazon or Hulu or whatever, that these things can get picked up and be put in front of an entire new audience. And I am rooting for that to succeed, because that only just creates more cool things with, of course, unique perspectives and viewpoints of not just stories being told, but the way that they're produced. So I'm very interested in that. And I feel like Amazon is still in their, like, let's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks mode.
Sure.
Which is not great, but they have had some pretty major wins. I think the one thing that they have not done correctly yet is find the right release strategy. So we'll see if this is a step in the right direction. I'm more hopeful than not on this, though.
Yeah. My main thing is that, like, I hope that there's a little bit of room for wackiness here, right? Like, I know it's grounded, but I hope those fight scenes are like Scott Pilgrim, or not to that extent, but like there's something insane happening.
You're following the fist.
Yeah, someone picks up a bicycle and starts throwing it around.
Yeah,
there needs to be some level of wackiness, so then for the next season potentially we can start going down that route, because the games and games from then to now have gotten so wacky, and I want them to have that progression. If we end up seeing an adaptation of Infinite Wealth, we can go that direction.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm very excited about this. This has got me very hype.
Okay. Well, thank you, Roger. We'll keep you posted. Of course, I'm sure there'll be trailer reactions and whatnots and all sorts of content for you. So make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/kindafunnygames and follow the screencast and follow in review, where Bad Boys will be reviewed soon. It's great. Number 2 on the Rep Report. Shogun star in talks for the Ghost of Tsushima film. This is Tom Phillips at Eurogamer. The legendary Hiroyuki Sanada, star of the hit Amazon TV series Shogun, is in talks for a role in the upcoming Ghost of Tsushima film. That's according to veteran movie tipster Daniel RPK, who shared word of the discussions over the weekend. Sanada, who played Toranaga-sama in Shogun, is also known for his roles in The Last Samurai, Sunshine, and Lost. He's next set to star and appear in the cinema screens in another video game adaptation, Mortal Kombat 2. While this isn't yet a confirmation of Sanada's involvement by PlayStation Studios itself, fans are already celebrating the actor's potential involvement and speculating who he might play. The obvious choice is Lord Shimura, the uncle and protector to Ghost of Tsushima's protagonist, Jin. I've never seen him so young.
Oh,
We're looking at his IMDb right now, and I was glancing while I was reading. I was like, oh, Kevin's got the wrong person pulled up.
Oh, no.
And there he is. Next to him, there he is as an older man.
Yeah, no, dude. He's one of the GOATs, period. Hard
For sure.
stop.
No, he's been in everything. Yeah.
Absolutely love him. One of the highlights of the most recent Mortal Kombat. He was fantastic. Daniel RPK, the movie tipster, not the most reliable, but I put him in the camp of, like, this isn't just complete bullshit. This came from somewhere. He's saying something. He's not like the type of person that's going to say shit just to get more Patreon subscribers, like a lot of the other movie tipster people out there.
Like us.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll say anything.
Please subscribe.
We'll make anything up. You know what I mean? No, so I feel like this comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
I just don't know. It's him saying it doesn't mean, oh, it's absolutely happening. Just want to say that. But I don't think that this is out of the realm of possibility. He is very hot right now. People understand the talent that this man has.
Did you watch Shogun?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And
I have not started it. I want to, but I haven't gotten to it.
Oh, it's utterly fantastic. Like it is such an amazing show, and the acting in it is fantastic, and he is fantastic. So would love to see this. Again, I think it just kind of makes sense. I feel like Ghosts has such a high potential for being a hit in theaters with people. Not, a $1 billion box office thing, but like the talent that we have so far going into making this film, I feel like there's something special there, and adding him to that, I think that could be great.
Yeah, I mean, for something we don't know a lot about, but we know things about, every time they talk about the Ghost of Tsushima movie, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's a real movie. You're taking this seriously, and it seems like you're treating it with the respect it deserves, which I'd be super stoked for as a fan of it, and just a fan of that kind of samurai action movie, right? Seeing something like that. Of course, when do you think we hear more about this movie in a concrete way?
I don't know, but I mean, it's real. Like, this movie's gonna happen. I think gone are the days of, this video game's gonna be turned into a movie or a show, and you're like,
they've optioned this, and this person's working on a script right now.
I mean, like, it's never actually gonna happen. I'm still waiting for the Crazy Taxi movie that I read the fan casting of in a official PlayStation magazine.
Sure, nailed it, crushed.
But yeah, I feel like, or the Metroid, God forbid one day we get that. But I feel that we're just, if something's announced, it's probably gonna happen. I mean, we just talked about Yakuza. Boom, it's announced that it's happening tomorrow, it feels like.
Do you think there's any chance of this at SGF?
No. We're far from that as well. But far from that, I mean, I think we're going to be seeing this movie in theaters in the next, within 3 years for sure. But I wouldn't even be surprised if it was 2.
Okay.
But that's just kind of where these things are at these days, right?
Sure.
Like the fact that there's enough people attached to this working on it, I feel like it's happening. It's already in the process of being produced.
Excellent. And what about Ghost 2? Can I play Ghost 2 sometime?
Yeah, you can. I'll allow it.
I want to play it sooner than later.
Yeah. I feel like that's the next PlayStation Studios tentpole game, right?
You think so? Yeah, that would make sense. But what are they doing over there, Sucker Punch? What are you doing, Brian Fleming?
They're working
what are you
hard.
doing, Nate Fox?
They're working real hard.
Well, I hope to hear you talk about
They're
it.
They're a smaller team.
They are. Know? That's true. I'm not trying to take the time you need, but just give me a logo. Give me a logo.
I mean, you know what it is.
I know, but I want a logo.
Yeah, I want to see it. Then if you got the logo, you'd be like, oh, we just got a logo.
Not this sort of. I will not be like that. No,
other people would.
Of course,
other people. It causes, sour grapes poison the wells of eternity. That's what they say.
I hate it. I hate sour grapes poisoning the well of eternity. You know what I mean? Number 3 on the Roper Report. YouTube insider access has been tied to massive leaks. This is Emma Roth over at The Verge. The leaked lineup for last week's PlayStation State of Play surfaced shortly after the event was scheduled on YouTube. This has added to concerns over the kind of access Google employees have to videos before they go live, an issue highlighted in recent reports from Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson in 404 Media. One incident, as noted by Henderson, occurred in 2022 when KSI attempted to give away over $10,000 in Amazon gift cards. However, KSI later realized that all of the gift card codes had been redeemed before the video was posted, sparking an internal investigation at YouTube. The company reportedly started a similar investigation after the trailer for GTA 6 leaked, but it's not clear whether it's related. All of this ties into what seems like an ongoing problem at Google. On Monday, 404 Media published reports based on Google's internal database records, and it found that a Google contractor was behind the 2017 Nintendo leak that offered an early look at Yoshi's Crafted World. At the time, a user on Reddit shared an image of the trailer just before its reveal at E3. The image contained an admin.youtube.com URL in the address bar, suggesting that an employee accessed the private version of the video. Google confirmed that an employee accessed the information in a database entry viewed by 404 Media. Quote, Google employee deliberately leaked private Nintendo information, the entry said. Quote, former TVC, temporary vendor contractor, downloaded video with admin account and shared unreleased Nintendo feature with friend, end quote. The entry also reportedly said the incident was, quote, non-intentional. Okay. In a statement to The Verge, Google spokesperson Matt Bryant says every flag reported by 404 Media, quote, was reviewed and resolved at the time, end quote. However, the company didn't elaborate on what it does to prevent employees from accessing and leaking content early.
I mean, this isn't a surprise. I do feel like this is...
Can't have nice things!
It's very interesting that, like, there's a light being shined on this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I feel like it's like, oh, shit, so many of the leaks in recent times. It's YouTube, baby, and that all makes sense.
When
And
you do when you do this YouTube, premiere stuff. That's
but
what it's
even
popping.
trailers, right? Like even just like uploading just standalone videos. And it is interesting where there's a lot of weird back end stuff where there's a video, just a default video that's like uploaded like for something to go live, and people on the Nintendo channel, it's like, oh, there's probably a direct coming, and I feel like Nintendo caught on to that, so they're like, all right, we can't do that anymore, and like they shift and change. This is like a step beyond that though. Like that's all a public thing of like
for sure.
decisions Nintendo makes. This is like a incredible breach of privacy and security when it comes to the safety of what you are uploading, and then people being able to access it. The KSI example of the gift cards being taken is like very concerning, obviously,
for sure,
that there are people out there that would have access to be able to see your videos early and use them with malintent. And yeah, this seems to be the way that the PlayStation State of Play leaked as well, and all that. And like this is all the type of stuff that like personally I would love to see kind of nipped in the bud, because it's not fun.
How do you nip it in the bud?
I mean, I don't think you do.
Yeah,
you try. Can
Google? I mean, is there a way to impose more sanctions from Google on employees, fire on will or anything like that? I guess obviously
all that stuff. But
what about just doing it live like we do it? Not like live like this. I mean, but I mean like, do you think PlayStation or Nintendo just moves back to doing a live stream version of it where there's playing a pre-recorded video live?
I mean, I think that it's one of those whack-a-mole type situations
that causes
where
more
it's
problems.
Like anything you do, you're opening yourselves up to. The problem here isn't YouTube; it's bad people.
Yeah,
You know what I
100%.
mean? So I feel like that's not like saying that YouTube shouldn't look into this and do everything it can to like button this up. They should, and I believe they're going to. This is many lawsuits in the making, right?
Yeah.
Like come on. So, but yeah, it's like at the end of the day, these people that are doing shit they shouldn't be doing, and I feel like no matter where you go, that's going to be the case. But
that sucks.
It does.
I like surprises.
I really like surprises, and it's like this is definitely taking the story to a bit of a tangent, left turn here.
Go for it.
But like, it's very troublesome to me the way that Summer Games Fest season and not E3 is all talked about, because it's like it's so funny to me that we like look back like, oh, the Summer Game Fest sucks. It's not like E3. It's like, dude, E3 was rarely as good as we act like it was. I don't think that there was any single year where like across the board E3 was amazing. A conference here, a bit of a conference there, this, whatever. Same thing that we get now. We get so many more showcases, and if you add all the things together that happened in a year of the hype moments, like I feel like any of the most recent years have been as good as any single E3 of just getting the good moments together. But things are just different and how they're done. Expectations are higher now and all of that. But it's like I feel like these type of leaks just take the wind out of the sails entirely, and it just makes everything feel even less special, even less important. And there's so many examples of that. Resident Evil 3 being leaked, and then it's in a state of play, and we're all just kind of like, eh.
Oh, this would have been cool. This is cool, but it would have been cooler if I didn't know it was coming.
Last of Us Remake, which, leaked in a million different ways, reported on before it was actually leaked. But it being officially leaked before the being shown at the Summer Game Fest thing, it's like, well, that made the Summer Game Fest not feel special
Same
at
thing,
all.
Yeah.
So many examples of that stuff, and it's like, everyone can have their opinion on it, but like my opinion on it is like that fucking sucks, and it I think taints the perception of how good video game showcases actually are.
Fair enough. I agree with you, Timothy.
Thank you.
The audience.
Glad someone does.
Also, no, they agree with you. I see it all this.
Thank you all.
Tim speaks the truth, says
Thank
Jake.
you,
over there
Jake.
in
I
YouTube
appreciate
comments.
you.
Don't worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. Tim, you cool off. I'm going to tell all of them about the Kind of Funny membership. Of course, if you give us $10, you get good karma. You support a local small business in San Francisco of 11 people trying to keep it all independent, and you get all of our shows ad-free. You get the ability to watch us record our podcast in the afternoon live as we record them, and of course, you get the multimedia experience known as Gregway each and every weekday. But guess what? You're not using your Kind of Funny membership benefits right now, so here's a word from our sponsors. This episode of Kind of Funny is brought to you by Punkle, the developers behind Vampire Survivors. Did you know that Vampire Survivors is out on just about everything? That's right, you can play it this very second on PC, Xbox, Switch, and mobile. And if that wasn't enough, it's coming to PlayStation this summer with a Platinum Trophy, and I just so happen to be stoked. Why? Because it's awesome! Vampire Survivors is a gothic horror casual game with roguelike elements where your choices can allow you to quickly snowball against the hundreds of monsters that get thrown at you. Mow down thousands of night creatures and survive until dawn. Pick your character, spend your gold on power-ups, and get to being the bullet hell in the game that features absolutely zero vampires. Ponkel even just released the new DLC Operation Guns, featuring the classic and timeless Konami IP, Contra. We've been talking about this game for years, so there's no reason not to support it. Now, it's as affordable as a cup of coffee. Get Vampire Survivors on your platform of choice this very second, and thank Ponkel for sponsoring Kinda Funny. Number 4 on the rope report. Hideaki, Ni-shi-no, and Hermen Hulst explain why PlayStation nudes. That'd be a different one. Why PlayStation needs. Why PlayStation nudes.
Oh, nudes.
Let me tell you.
Very different.
There's nothing sexier than a PlayStation nude. When the PlayStation 5 dips off the covers and it's just sitting there, all black, vents exposed. Nothing gets me harder than the PlayStation nudes. Yeah, that went to you for free. Needs to CEOs. This is Kat Bailey at IGN.com. Also, thank you, Vampire Survivors, for sponsoring that, as we were pretty dang close to the ad. Luckily, I know Gio doesn't care. Last week, the new PlayStation co-CEOs, Hideaki Ni-shi-no and Hermen Hulst, offered some of their first remarks since taking their respective positions, discussing live service games, the state of the games industry, Bungie, and more. But why does PlayStation need two CEOs in the first place? The pair talked a little bit about that decision in a new message published to Sony's website. Now, of course, this went to Sony's official website. So how much of this is stuff they actually wrote versus how much of this stuff some PR intern made up, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Until, of course, Hermen comes out and is like, I actually got misquoted.
Delete it all.
Here's my ramblings. I'm sorry. Where they explained some of the reasoning behind the new structure. Among other things, they noted that it's, quote, never been more important.
Do this, it's a 20-hour.
Roger, you stay the fuck out of here.
Sorry about that.
No, it's not on you. It's Roger.
No, he didn't do it.
No, Roger's in trouble now because of him coming in here to talk about that. Quote, never been more important for the leadership at Sony Interactive Entertainment to step back, review our business holistically, and move forward with a new structure designed to bring out the best in the organization and deliver increasingly incredible experiences, end quote. Hold on one second. Because I read that.
Yeah.
And that was English, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I finished the sentence and learned nothing. So just to make sure I wasn't distracted by PlayStation news, I'm going to read it back, okay?
Yeah.
Among other things, they noted it's never been more important for the leadership at Sony Interactive Entertainment to step back, review our business holistically, and move forward with a new structure designed to bring out the best in the organization to deliver increasingly incredible experiences.
I'll push back on you. I think this is actually saying stuff.
They continued in their letter
for every single thing. This is them legitimately trying to be like, yo, the industry is falling the fuck apart. Let's look at this and try to figure it out. We need to, or else we're not going to exist. Now, hopefully this doesn't result in layoffs, and it probably will. And that's where things get bad. But this is good that at least there's people being like, hey, we're fucked, everybody. Let's unfuck ourselves.
Sure. Let's see if I get a little bit. Let me see if I get a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me see if I get a little happier as I read. They continued in their letter to PlayStation employees, quote, while having two CEOs is a new structure for SIE, we know this will foster greater creativity and innovation as we look for new ways to grow the business, always keeping our community at the forefront. Two distinct business groups will enable us to have more rigor and clarity across our lines of business as SIE continues to grow and evolve, end quote. Hulst and Ni-shi-no, who formally stepped into their new roles on June 1st, are dividing up PlayStation's businesses between them. Specifically, Hermen will lead the newly created PlayStation Studios business group, which will focus on development, publishing, and business operations for SIE's first-party content. Ni-shi-no, meanwhile, will spearhead PlayStation's hardware and tech. The pair is taking over the former CEO Jim Ryan's job, who announced his retirement last spring. They inherit a business that they claim is enjoying its most profitable console generation to date, but nevertheless faces plenty of questions as the PlayStation 5 winds down. I'm just saying. I'm with you, especially as we went on. It was just the initial read where I was like, we're saying a lot of things there, but you're not answering the question of why. And I understand that, as Kat points out, among other things, there's multiple reasons for this. It's not just that. I think, to your point, the industry's constantly changing and evolving or whatever. And so if this is the idea of give Hermen even more power from leading PlayStation studios to now really oversee PlayStation, okay.
And that's my thing. And I think a lot of this just comes from my perspective on business and where I have seen success. And I truly believe in the power of a team. And I think that when there are more than one people working together in leadership, I feel like that's when greatness can actually happen. When it's just one person that is like at the top, I feel like that doesn't allow as much flexibility and as much checks and balances, but also just as much support to get things done correctly. And just a level of validation of, hey, we have so many things to look at. No one person can oversee all of this stuff. And obviously, like, there's people above them and there's a lot of things. But in terms of PlayStation, I appreciate that they're looking at this. And first off, I appreciate the 2 CEO thing. I think that it's smart, and I think it's the right decision, especially for a worldwide company like PlayStation that has different needs in different places, and even understanding how games are made, which is worldwide. Like, the PlayStation Studios has teams all over the world. So being able to
not in London
but being able to deal with all of that, I feel like is such a Herculean task, and to be able to have multiple people with different focuses that can come together and work together to make the strategy actually happen. Sure. It's like, this is a bunch of corpo talk of like,
it's a statement published on Sony's website.
What else are they going to say? Like, what should they say? What shouldn't they say? I don't know. I like that they're saying this. And again, I think a lot of this and my positivity comes from, I believe in the 2 system. And I think that this is going to be good for PlayStation. And clearly we need something changed. Clearly there needs to be some more strategy going forward, because things were working and then seem to have stopped working as well.
Well, they said, let's do all these live service games. And then everybody's like, we don't want those. I'm like, well, fuck, now we're fucked for 19 months.
Yeah.
We try to get another game that isn't that.
Yeah.
With the exception of Helldivers for democracy.
Major win.
Number 5 on the Roper Report, Devolver Digital and Heart Machine are announcing a new game on June 7th. This is Sal Romano Gematsu, and there's a teaser trailer. Publisher Devolver Digital and developer Heart Machine, which is known for Hyperlight Drifter, Solar Ash, right? This says Solar Sash, but that can't be right. And the upcoming Hyper Light Breaker will announce a new game on June 7th during Devolver Direct 2024. The company's announced. The teaser trailer is available. We're watching it here. Has a lot of Hyper Light Drifter vibes to it. I'm sure Andy Cortez is creaming his jeans over it.
I mean, it looks sick.
It does look good. I mean, I nothing not to like here. You know what I mean? Got some crazy text popping up, and then it's just saying it's going to be revealed on June 7th.
It's interesting. Another game's being announced.
Yeah.
I just feel like with the teams we're talking about here, it's like with Hyperlight Breaker.
Yep.
Coming out. Like,
still not out, right? Still being previewed. Good for them. Heart Machine's a great studio. We like their stuff a lot here. Kind of funny. So excited to see more. Of course, we love Devolver. Devolver's awesome. So be ready to watch that Devolver Direct on June 7th. June 7th. We won't be watching it. We support Devolver and support you watching it, but we'll be doing our post show for the SG. We're a lot pre-show for SGF, right? Bam. Then you're into the SGF live reactions for roughly 2 hours. Bam. Then it's the GAMESCAST post show for the SGF conference. Bam. Then we run to the airport to catch a flight to LA to see a bunch of games on Saturday for you. Then bam, we wake up Sunday. Then bam, we fly back here. Bam, and we react to Xbox here. Bam, bam, bam. Whatever happened to Emerald Lagasse? He's still going? Kevin, what's going on with Emerald Lagasse?
I'll Google it.
Thank you. I'm excited to find out what's been going on with Emerald Lagasse. Frankly, though, that's pretty big news.
Yes, it is.
Tim, if I wanted something smaller, say the tiniest news I needed to know about, where would I go?
You go to our last story, the We News channel, where we cover all the small news items that you need to know about.
Number 6, the Wii News. Play this at my funeral.
I will.
When they carry me in and out, and then they eat me outside. Number 6, the Wii News. Content warning has reached 2.2 million sold after 2 months, and a console version has been teased. Congratulations. Sad breaking news from GamesIndustry.biz. Behavior Interactive will lay off 95 staff, 70 of them from its Montreal office, the company announced. Oof. It continues. Dead by Daylight, folks. I don't know if Behavior is Dead by Daylight. I'm not sure, actually, about the Montreal team working on Dead by Daylight, but you know what I mean. Destiny 2, the final shape is out today. People have been queuing, I've been seeing as they comment in the thing over here. Homelander is officially available in Mortal Kombat 1 today. Okay. Can't wait for 3 weeks, another Homelander trailer. Everybody act like that's brand new to me, and that's coming up soon. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game is out today. Star Wars Hunters is out today on Switch and Android. That, of course, is a free-to-play game. A Metaphor Refantazo showcase is set for June 7th at 6 p.m. PT. Damn.
June 7th, man. Popping off.
Rusty Rabbit launches September 24th on PlayStation 5 and PC. And that's it. That's all the Wii news for you. But I like the jams. Kevin, did we find out what's going on with Emerald Lagasse?
Yeah, he seems like he's fine.
Yeah? No, is he still making... Bam? Is he still...
It doesn't seem like he's making stuff now. So if we go to his Wikipedia...
Yeah. Early life, I don't care about career, sure. Keep scrolling.
Made a lot of money.
Of course. There we go. Hold on. His career. Stop. Lagasse's restaurant company, the Emerald Group, still going. Oh, you highlighted something here. In 2020, he hosted the series Emerald Cooks on the Roku channel. He's hosted the Emerald tailgates for the Roku channel.
Wow.
What are the chances we can get him out here to cook for us, Kev?
Slim.
I bet he's an Instagram person over a Twitter person, but check both for me and let me know, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. As you do that, I'll do some super chats. Of course, if you want to be part of the show, you can super chat on youtube.com/kindafunnygames with your questions, comments, concerns about the day's news and everything we're doing just to find out what's going on with us.
And right now is a great time to do it because it's one of those rare shows where we have more time left than normal. So if you want to super chat in video game questions for me and Greg, we'll answer them.
Or just kind of funny questions, which I appreciate all the time.
Yeah.
Mackin Awesome super chatted to start it and said, non-binary best friend begging you to stop saying ladies and gentlemen. This is something I've had an open dialogue about on Gregway. I had been complimented at one point for saying ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, which I stole from Andy, who says gentlemen, ladies, and NBs. But I still do ladies and gentlemen and then try to get the NBs. But what I was talking about in the Gregway about it was that for me, ladies and gentlemen is filler. It's the you know what I mean? It's one of those that I say and don't realize I said it. And there's a really comical Gregway about it where I'm like, I don't feel like I say it that much. And then I catch myself 3 times in the Gregway saying it when I didn't realize I was saying it. So again,
I've seen you try it to get it out of your head, and I get it. Yeah,
17 years of saying one thing, It's tough to get out there. But we hear you and we understand you. And of course, you know that we never mean offense by it. It's, again, for me personally, just trying to get it in the old vocabulary and go. But you'll have to work with me and give me time. Flick became a member for 10 months and says, "Consuma phallus, Greg."
What?
He's saying eat a dick in a funny way.
Oh, consuma phallus.
To celebrate his membership for 10 months. And for you, I will, Flick. Back to Emerald Lagasse's Twitter. Thank you so much. Last post, April 7th, 2023. Okay, and what about his Instagram? When's his last Instagram post? 3 days ago. Yeah, he's an Instagrammer. We got to get on this. We got to find out.
We got to get on this.
6 days ago. Well, I just feel like, this is the perfect time for Emerald to come here and cook on the grill.
Yeah.
He used to do a tailgate show.
Okay.
Come here and tailgate. Do the tailgate food for when me and Mike do the college football stream. Done.
Yeah.
Done. CJ Splitson says, let's discuss Tsushima. That's Ghost of Tsushima too, if you didn't know. Why does Jin being an anti-hero that we have to track down and defeat sound like the best idea?
You in for that? Maybe not.
I mean, I'm not. I'm in for whatever story Sucker Punch wants to tell me. They obviously I've loved Sucker Punch for quite some time, and so if they are inspired to play a game or make a game, I'm inspired to play that game. And so I just assumed I'd be going back and becoming Jin once again, and probably fighting off the next Mongol invasion of Tsushima Island, right? Because this is originally based in history, right? And then there's another one that comes along. I just assumed that's what we'd be doing. Tracking him down and being the anti-hero, I mean, obviously we're going to track him down. It's going to be a Snake Plissken situation where we start working with him. He's not going to be the bad guy of this game. You know what I mean? Yeah. What do you want? You never even played Ghost 1, did you? Did you ever play the PC version with the widescreen you were all excited about?
No, still haven't done that yet. I played I played the first, the opening little bit.
Yeah.
A handful of times at this point.
Sure.
And I mean, it's gorgeous and it's great. It doesn't just grab me for some reason. It's awesome. I'm sure that once I get past a certain hump, I'm just going to be totally in.
Yeah.
But, life. And there's Metal Gear Solid to play.
You are playing Metal Gear Solid 1, so nobody can be mad at you about that.
Yeah.
You're doing the damn thing, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I would be down to... obviously, this is the whole problem with these kind of action RPGs where you get invested in the character that, you start Ghost 2 what are you, Jin has to have all the stuff he had from Ghost 1, right? To kind of, feel like you did it. There's been ups and downs with stuff like that where, the second Jedi game, right, did a great job of Cal having all his stuff and having new stuff to learn, right? And then, of course, in
So cool.
Forbidden West, Aloy just has one throwaway comment of like, I lost all my stuff in the river. So you're like, all right, we're starting from scratch with Aloy.
Classic
It's like,
Metroid.
yeah, it's like, all right, how do you go? Of course, God of War was always great at it too, in terms of like God of War 2 starting right, and you get thrown down, you lose all your stuff, you're back to being just regular old Kratos. There's ways around it, but I don't know. I don't feel the need to be a new character. I was excited to catch up with Jin and see where we are nowadays, but I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
Give me that goddamn Assassin's Creed, though. I'll tell you what.
Give it to him.
Give it to me, baby. Thank you, Barrett. Apple's Dude 123 super chats and says, I do feel like maybe Nintendo could host showcases on their website now. Just seems like back-end leakers will always be inevitable for clout chasing.
I mean, there's going to be leakers in Nintendo themselves.
No.
I mean, there are.
My uncle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's going to solve anything, but it would just make a worse video player experience, like, for sure. Nintendo don't got the stuff. You know,
And that's the thing. It's back to the old.
videos.
It's back to the old IGN cycles I lived through when I remember when it was proposed that IGN put their videos on YouTube, and it was so adamant of, no, we have a video player. Why would we go use theirs? And then it was, it's
because their video player works and it's where the people are.
And that was the thing. It's like, our competitors are demolishing us on YouTube. Like, let's do this because we have to go where eyeballs are. Like the idea of driving someone to your .com is an old and outdated adage, right? Like that's not going to be how it works anymore. Mad Rock says, are you caught up with Saga, Greg? The comic book series I love quite a bit. No, I am not.
How not caught up are you?
I mean, I don't even know. I remember when they came back from the long hiatus they had that I think I read that first issue, but.
And there's been a lot since then.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I buy them.
Like, again,
every time they come out, I buy the paperbacks just to have it. Like literally, like when you first walk in my house, there's a bookshelf and I have them all there. And one day I'm like, I'm going to, but I'm going to have to start over from the beginning.
Me too. That was what happened is I dropped the new one. I read it. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I don't even remember. I'm going to have to read
a series.
And it's that idea of like, well, I haven't read a comic since Ben was born. Like in terms of the hierarchy of values of what I do with my free time, comics fell away. And I love comics. It's not me not loving comics. It was just like I need to play games whenever I'm not doing something with Jedi Ben. Yeah. It's oxygen to me. You know what I mean?
Dude. You're sniffing that gin.
I got it. Sky Armada. Chances of a new Mega Man game at SGF.
0. Not Mega Man 0 though.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Mega Man 0 is great, Barrett. Show some respect. I know. Oh, yeah, that's true too. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Mega Man, I think, is in a weird ass place right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be a priority for Capcom for quite a while.
You think they ever like give it a full reboot and like it's third person and we're running around doing shit?
I don't know if that the dream Mega Man game's ever gonna actually happen, but you know what? I take that back. It will. It will.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's anytime soon.
Okay. Joseph Levitt says, kind of funny planning on being at PAX West this year. You know what? I am in discussions to host a panel at PAX West. So news on that one day eventually. It is not confirmed. I have not signed anything. So maybe is the answer. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
I know Jared Petty hit me up and he said, I want to do a panel if you're going to be there. And I said, all right, I'll let you know. I'm never going to respond to him again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I forget about this guy until I open threads. I'm like, oh, God.
Threads.
Jared. Him and Gary just talking to each other nonstop in this vacuum of threads. You know what I mean?
Talking about fucking echo chambers, threads.
I love you, Gary and Jared. Onimus Prime says, Greg, remind Tim what Nutella does. Psst. Nut hella.
My fucking guy.
All right, you guys are weird. I don't even get that. DeVille gifted 50 Kind of Funny Games memberships. Thank you so much, DeVille. That's insane. We don't get that a lot usually on this one. Of course, you can gift memberships as well. Those aren't the full-blown membership to get it, but then you'd be with, I think it's $4 or whatever to go get the rest. That's pretty cool.
This is just a real quick thing, and like I don't need to just live in this negativity.
While you do that, Kevin, can you Google for me Odin, the number 2, Lite? Odin 2 Lite. That'll be for the next comment. Go.
I just I forgot where I was going to get there, but like, I was talking on the KF podcast yesterday about how like I have just I've talked around my phone and had conversations with people enough that my algorithms kick fucking ass on most of my social medias or just platforms or whatever. Like, I'm getting things I like. I'm not getting a lot of bullshit. Things are great for me. I don't know if it's an algorithm thing or if this is just the way it is. Threads is one of those things where I really wanted it to work. I really want it to work, honestly.
Yeah.
But every time I go to Threads, it is 99% people just talking about how bad Twitter is.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
Find some other hobbies.
Yeah.
And like maybe like that's just the algorithm I'm getting, but it's like it's unfortunate and it makes Threads unbearable.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, then that was the thing where I'd hoped of like, oh, maybe this is all in one. I love using Instagram. I love visual. I love the stories. I love, working with reels now and stuff like that. I go to my Instagram, instagram.com/gameovergreggy. I'm trying out there. I'm hustling. But yeah, Threads just no, and it's that thing where it's like if Twitter went away tomorrow, I'd probably just retire that part of social media. I guess that's like, it. I don't really feel like I need to be part of this and go argue and do whatever's happening. But I digress. Kevin D Cash 114 says Greg needs to check out the Odin 2 Lite, a new Vita.
Now this is interesting because I found this Odin 2, and then there's like an Odin 2 Mini. I don't see an Odin 2
There is,
Lite.
no lie, like 100 Odin systems.
Okay.
Like these emulator systems are wild. New ones come out, I swear to God, once a month.
Okay.
It's really, really crazy. But they're cool. Very cool.
It's just,
and
so
what's
it's just
great about them,
I'm just emulating stuff.
we're at a point that
Okay.
that a lot of these emulation systems are directly just trying to be like, this is the best way to play 3DS games. This is the best way to play Wii U games. This is the best way to play Vita games. And it's like taking on the form factors or like GBA SP or the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. Like, it's just cool. A lot of flexibility out there. And they're cheap as hell.
That does
Maybe
look.
not
I
this
see.
one.
I see where. Yeah, that's the Vita, all right.
This is pretty cool.
But there's a
That's
ton of
Vita,
these
right.
things you can get that are very good for like $50.
Nice. But old game's old. I got the Portal. I'm playing WWE 2K24 in bed.
Yeah, okay.
Playing Fallout 76 in bed.
Uh-huh.
Playing No, that's not right. I was playing Starfield on my backbone, but you know what I mean. It's all there. Remote play for life. But thank you for the recommendation. Matthew Lewis super chat and says, has Greg or Joey listened to Cowboy Carter? Of course, the Beyonce country album. I have, and Joey's obsessed with it. Last I heard. I don't know if she's still in that thing or whatever. I like the single off it, but all the other stuff I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't enough for it. But Texas Hold'em, what a jam. Did you try?
I still haven't even listened to it. The Texas Hold'em loop from TikTok I enjoyed quite a bit. But
Sure.
I should probably, I'm gonna get it right now because I do like it enough that I'm like, I should check this out.
Nando Tarichi says, any chance Hermen Hulst will come on the show? There's always a chance. I've had those conversations with PlayStation before, not in a actual back and forth way of trying to make schedules work and stuff, and it just hasn't ever lined up. Hopefully one day, but he just keeps getting more and more powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. Voltronic 91 super chats and says, hey Greg and Tim, Kena Bridge of Spirits will launch on Xbox this August 15th. Yeah, we know. Thanks for watching yesterday's show. What the
I'm
fuck?
excited for it, man.
Like, what the fuck am I doing here?
I really, really enjoyed. I would go as far as saying, in retrospect, I loved Kena Bridge of Spirits. It not being the best game ever, but I love it for what it did really well. Like, the animation is unrivaled. The look that it has is so great. And yeah, it just played like a very difficult PS2 game, but there's something about that I enjoy. I think it overstayed its welcome, whatever. I would love to see Ember Labs work on something else. I would love for
100%.
it to be a sequel to this. I feel like the world was so interesting and cool that getting more of that is very appealing to me. So yeah, this being ported to more systems and given a chance to be played by more people, I think is awesome. I don't really know that any enhancement or like time of like patches or whatever would really fix any of the quote unquote problems of the game, but I think it's going to be a great time for people.
I'd love to see
give it a shot.
I liked what I played. I remember being not, I wasn't like a glowing 9 out of 10. I called it like the best PS2 game or some shit like that. But it was fun and I enjoyed it. I would love to see the lessons they've learned from that in a new game and go, because it was just a gorgeous game. CJ Splitson says Star Fox for Switch 2 launch.
There's not a chance, but man, Kit and Krista,
I know them,
who are fantastic. They recently have uncovered Star Fox Assault, the GameCube game, and I haven't watched the video yet, but I've just seen Kit kind of tweeting about it, whatever. And I saw today they tweeted, he's like, dude, it is so good and whatever. And like Star Fox Assault, I've talked about it on Gamescast a million times over my years here, but like I just want it clear. Everybody hates on that game because there's no good Star Fox in 64, and there's truth to that to some extent. But I just want to say, 1/3 of Star Fox Assault is the best Star Fox game.
Okay.
The problem was Star Fox Assault tried to do way too many different things. It was 1/3 on-rail shooter, like Star Fox is known for. 1/3 out on foot, you're running around shooting, which was absolutely god-awful. And then 1/3, like, hey, you're not in the R-Wing, you're in a tank, but it's not like the 64 tank. It's like it plays differently, and that stuff was just not good either. So, yeah, I understand. I can't really say it's a great game when 2/3 of it are range from like bad to horrible. But there's so much love and care in the characters, and the music is fully orchestrated for a GameCube game it might be the first ever fully orchestrated Nintendo game. Like before Mario Galaxy, like it's so cool. But then there's the rest of the game. But anyways, I'm happy that there's more people out there that are rocking for it. And maybe one day we'll get another game in that style, but it won't be for a Switch 2's launch. That's the type of game that you put out when the Switch has a install base and you're really trying to get the more hardcore people. Having said that, Star Fox, I think, is one of the most untapped potential for a Nintendo IP movie or animated series or something like that. For like kid appeal and like turning into a much bigger thing. You tie that with the game, you got a fucking win on your hands, everyone.
You got a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want a winner chicken dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Do all that shit he talked about. I mean, fucking Star Fox Switch 2. Who cares? You know, that's what I say. Antigua X Super Chat says, Greg, thank you for the new Kind of Funny podcast. Was in literal tears this morning. Tim, I think I'm done with the Pokemon games due to quality dip BS. What keeps you playing? First off, thank you.
Yeah,
Great new Kind of Funny podcast up, of course, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and podcast services around the globe.
I was just like you for a long time of just like, I was fed up with how samey so many of them got to the point that I was like, fuck Scarlet and Violet. Like, I'm not even going to touch them. And Blessing was like, dude, I know that it's against a lot of what you might like, and there's a lot of performance issues. You should give this one a shot. And he was right. There was performance issues aside, which they're there. And if performance is what matters to you most, like, oh man, that's not going to be for you, and stop playing Pokemon.
Fun
I totally get it. But I love what they did with it, and I feel like I can't wait to see what Gen 10 looks like. I can't wait to see what the next thing is. I don't have high hopes for it, but I do feel like it's the basis that they've set up with Scarlet and Violet. Like, they can go really far with it, but will it run? I don't know.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it and then stopped for reviews and stuff, and I haven't been compelled to go back because it is just like the binge of collecting and battling. But I got all my gym badges. So I was ready for the elite, but I never went.
Yeah, I mean, like I will just say, for as hardcore into Pokemon I got in the last year or two, which is very, very hard. I mean, it's Pokemon Go, I'm playing multiple times a day.
You still got the
every
thing
day.
in your pocket?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's on my desk right now.
Yeah,
but yeah. Oh, dude, I'm about to hit level 48. Everybody, out of 50. This is freaking wild, everyone. And I'm down to like 15 Pokemon left to catch. Like, I am in the end game of Pokemon Go, which is crazy.
Nice.
But when it comes to the core games, I want to catch them all. I want to do the whole entire thing, and I did it all in Scarlet and Violet. I went back to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and caught all of them. And then the DLC came out. There was the 2 packs of DLC for Scarlet and Violet. I caught all of them in DLC 1. DLC 2 came out, and I played through it, but I never caught them all. Got distracted with everything, and I haven't got pulled back, and I saddens me because I feel like I'm going to be behind the next time when Pokemon ZA comes out. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't know that I'm going to have the time or interest in catching them all in the DLC, and I'm going to have to. But I don't like that it feels like a chore. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Yeah, 100%. Let's do some quick ones to get out of here, all right? Ryan Povala Higgins super chats and says, Tim, I saw you tweet about your wedding being the X-Men 97 of weddings. How much are you enjoying the build-up?
I mean, more than anything. Like, honestly, like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. It's very hard. There's never a good time to do anything like this, but like, I am easily putting more work into this wedding than I have any Kind of Funny live, than the studio launch, than anything. And it's just like, that's just, things ramping up.
Yeah,
just
of course.
Production ramping up and everything, like all of that. So it's like, it's very cool. It's very satisfying. And I feel like more so than those other projects, this is under control. Like, it's very like all hands on deck. I have more resources to pull from, like more talented people to ask for help. It's just great. It's going to be freaking awesome.
This is Oscar with the super chat. Favorite independent gaming YouTubers?
You mean like YouTubers that cover indie games?
I thought he meant Favorite independent gaming YouTubers? I don't know. I thought he meant. I read it as independent of not working at a.
I like Austin John Plays a lot for Pokemon and Nintendo coverage. Woodhawker is great for Nintendo coverage. I mainly listen to Nintendo coverage YouTube channels.
Sure.
Andres Restart, who we had on Gamescast before, I absolutely love him. He's so good.
That's good. You can stop that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Oh, I was gonna make a joke about it, but I have somebody else. I can't remember their name. It's always so hard. They come through the Instagram feed. It's gone. One day I'll tell you when I see them on my Instagram feed again. And then final question for today. Hella Drove says, will you guys be streaming Final Shape at all? No plans. It came out, obviously nothing's ever set in stone. It's kind of funny. We can change the stream plan to whatever we want to. But you figure the issue here is that Joey would be the biggest Destiny player among us. And even she is like, I'm into it. But she's playing with the girls and I need to catch up and do all this stuff. There's nobody's super passionate about the Final Shape at Kind of Funny. And so that's why you see them doing Elden Ring. On top of the fact that with SGF eating up all of our attention and bandwidth and us getting ready to not have a weekend and continue to work nonstop, we've been looking for streams over there that are a bit more, can be Nick focused. That can be something in there. And that's why you see Elden Ring all this week. Next week's very similar. I think there's a couple Fallout 76 days in there because that'll just be nice for me to go in there and fuck around with Joey and Mike or whatever. But the idea is, what can you just go in and fuck around with and go?
Yeah.
My dog Nick96 says, not even part-timer Paris? What's the key word there? What was part-timer? So I'd have to keep paying Paris to come in and do that. Not that I'm against paying Paris, of course, but like you see the point there, that I'm not reaching out for those opportunities as much since I got Paris on other stuff this very week. Tomorrow,
This very week, yeah.
Xbox predictions. Paris is coming through to do Xbox predictions with us with the one, the only Jeff Grubb. Jeff Grubb is going to be here as well alongside all of us to do that because Kind of Funny, ladies and gentlemen, is all about live talk shows. If you didn't know, each and every weekday at 10 a.m., we kick off with Kind of Funny Games Daily. Then it's the Kind of Funny Gamescast, which is about to be your Elden Ring DLC preview. Then it's streaming of video games. Then there's afternoon podcast. If you get the membership, you get Gregway. You get everything ad-free, and you have a good time supporting an independent 11-person operation in San Francisco, California, as we get ready to fly to L.A., California, to do more SGF stuff. Like I said, we're doing all the reactions. We're doing all the post shows. We're doing all the stuff. We'll be doing Ubisoft. We'll be doing Xbox. We'll be doing SGF. We'll be doing Playdays. We'll have all these embargoed content we'll be talking about for weeks. It turns out that I need to go on the calendar right after this show and lay out because there's so many goddamn embargoes and stuff like that for things we're doing and seeing. But I digress. Up next is your Elden Ring Gamescast. If you're watching live on Twitch, you don't have to go anywhere. If you are listening or watching later on YouTube, of course, you have a different YouTube link to click onto and go. I guess you're watching live, you have to do that as well. But you know what I mean. Don't bust my balls.
Just
all
do
right,
things.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.